Life often gives us lessons in the most unexpected places. Sometimes, a single conversation or a passing remark can change the entire direction of our journey. Today's story is about a beggar at a railway station who discovered a timeless principle. We receive only when we are willing to give, and with this realization, his life transformed forever. In a bustling city, there lived a beggar who spent his days at the railway station. His survival depended on asking travelers for a few coins as they boarded and left the trains. Day after day, his routine never changed. One afternoon, while moving through the crowd, the beggar noticed a tall gentleman dressed in an elegant suit. The man looked wealthy, and the beggar thought to himself, "Surely this man will give me a generous alms." He quickly approached and stretched out his hand. But instead of giving money, the gentleman looked at him calmly and said, "You always ask from others. Tell me, have you ever given anything to anyone?" The beggar was taken aback. He lowered his eyes and replied, "Sir, I am just a beggar. My life is about asking. I have nothing to give. How can I offer anything to anyone?" The man smiled slightly and said, "If you cannot give, then you also have no right to keep asking. I am a businessman and I believe in exchange. Only when you give something do you truly deserve to receive something in return." Saying this, the tall man boarded his train and left. The beggar, however, stood still. Those words pierced his heart. For the first time in years, he questioned his life. Is this why I remain poor? Because I never offer anything back. But what could a beggar possibly give? For 2 days he thought deeply, restless and lost in his own questions. On the third day, while sitting near the station, his eyes fell upon some flowers blooming on the plants nearby. Suddenly, an idea lit up his mind. He plucked a few flowers, and the next time someone gave him alms, he smiled and handed them a flower in return. The people were surprised, but delighted. They accepted the flowers with joy, some even keeping them safely in their pockets or books. From that day onwards, he made it his habit. Every coin he received, he returned with a flower. To his amazement, more and more people started giving him money. They weren't just helping a beggar anymore, they were receiving something in exchange. Soon, he realized that whenever he had flowers, people gave generously. But once his flowers ran out, the coins stopped too. The beggar finally understood the power of give and take. One morning, as he was offering flowers in exchange for alms, he spotted the same tall gentleman on the train again. Excitedly, the beggar rushed over and said, "Sir, today I have something to give you as well. Please accept these flowers in return for your kindness." The gentleman gave him some coins, and the beggar placed the flowers in his hand. The man smiled warmly and said, "Wonderful! You are no longer just a beggar. You are a businessman now." The train departed, but those words echoed in the beggar's heart. Yes, I am not a beggar anymore. I am a trader. I can build something greater with this idea. His eyes sparkled with a new light. Standing tall, he looked up to the sky and declared, "I am not a beggar. I am a businessman. I will become rich." People passing by thought he had gone mad, but the beggar never returned to that station again. 6 months later, at the very same station, 2 well-dressed men in suits were about to board a train. They exchanged greetings, and one of them looked closely at the other. "Do you recognize me?" he asked with a smile. The second man shook his head. "No, I don't think we've met before." "Think again," the first replied. "This is not our first meeting. In fact, this is the third time." The second man looked puzzled. "Third time? When were the first two?" The first man chuckled. "The first time I was a beggar asking you for alms. You refused and taught me the principle of exchange. The second time I gave you flowers in return for your coins. And today I stand before you as a successful flower merchant." The second man's eyes widened in surprise. You were that beggar? Incredible! But tell me, how did you achieve all this?" The former beggar, now a businessman, explained with pride. "You see, when I began giving flowers in return, people weren't offering me alms anymore. They were paying for the flowers. At first, I thought I was still a beggar, but in truth, I had become a small trader. Once I understood this, I invested the money I collected, bought more flowers, and soon built a proper business. People here love flowers, and today I own one of the largest flower shops in the city." Both men smiled, their hearts filled with respect. As the train arrived, they boarded together, discussing business and the journey of life. Moral of the story: true success begins with a change in mindset. The beggar's life transformed the moment he stopped seeing himself as helpless and started believing he could give value in return. Life works on the principle of exchange. The more you give, the more you receive. And above all, if you think small, you remain small. But if you believe big and act big, nothing can stop you from reaching the heights of success. So remember, your thoughts create your reality. Think bigger, give more, and life will reward you in ways you never imagined.